صحبه ومن والاه. Jazakumullah khair, brothers and sisters, for coming tonight. Inshallah, we begin from page 14. Hopefully, by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, we'll be able to cover pages 14, 15, and a little bit of page 16. First question tonight. هل نطوف بالقبور للتقرب بها؟ هل نطوف بالقبور? See whether the sisters have some books. تعال انت. Ask the sisters whether they need some books, inshallah. انت روح. Ask the sisters if they need some books, then you give it to them. If they have enough, you bring it back. هل نطوف بالقبور للتقرب بها? Meaning, is it allowed? Is it acceptable? Is it lawful according to Sharia? Is it permissible to go around the qubur? Qubur means graves. Go around the qubur. Amir, are you okay? Is it allowed? Is it permissible to go around the qubur, the graves? لِلتَّقَرُّبِ بِهَا. And this is on them. That is the taqarrub here. Getting closer to them, getting assistance from them. Is it permissible? لَا نَطُوفُ إِلَّا بِالْكَعْبَةِ. It is not allowed. It is not permissible according to Sharia to go and round graves, going around people's grave of the Prophet, or graves to go around any building except Allah min ash-shaytan al-rajim. وَإِذْ بَوَّأْنَا وَالْقَائِمِينَ وَالرُّكَّعِ السُّجُودِ وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام فكلوا منها وأطعموا البائس الفقير ثم ليقضوا تفثهم وليوفوا نذورهم وليطوفوا بالبيت العتيق. So this ayat I just recited from Surah Al-Hajj from 26 down to ayat 29. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته مغفرة. Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned, وَإِذْ بَوَّأْنَا لِإِبْرَاهِيمَ مَكَانَ الْبَيْتِ. And remember, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when we showed Ibrahim alayhi salam, we directed Ibrahim alayhi salam, and we showed him مَكَانَ الْبَيْتِ, the site of Kaaba. When Allah Azza wa Jalla instructed him to raise قواعد البيت, to raise the foundation of the Kaaba. So Allah showed him and directed him مَكَانَ الْبَيْتِ, the site of Kaaba. Allah tushrik bi shay'a. Allah Azza wa Jalla instructed Ibrahim alayhi salam, commanded him that you commit not shirk with Allah Azza wa Jalla. Meaning, you do not worship any other false deities beside Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah tushrik bi shay'a. Wa tahhir bayti. And sanctify my house. The ta'ifin, for those who make tawaf. Meaning those who will circumambulate it. Go around the Kaaba, the Ta'ifin. وَالْقَائِمِينَ, and those who will stand, meaning in prayer, worship. وَالرُّكَعِ السُّجُودِ, and those who will bow down and prostrate. So the process of salah, standing, making ruku' and making sujood. So Allah Azza wa Jalla commanded Ibrahim alayhi salam to sanctify the house, لِلطَّائِفِينَ وَالْقَائِمِينَ وَالرُّكَعِ السُّجُودِ وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ. So from this ayah I mentioned, ayah 26, Allah mentioned لَلطَّائِفِينَ, for those who will make tawaf. وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, and proclaim to mankind the Hajj. يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا, they will come to you on foot. وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ, and on every lean camel. They will come from every deep and distant mountain highways. Why would people flock to Mecca, come to the Haram? لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ, that they will witness that which will benefit them. من منافع دينية ودنيوية, the benefit of the deen meaning the reward, the great reward of performing the Hajj and performing the Salah in the Haram and doing all the sha'air and manasik al-Hajj is part of the manafi', the benefits of the deen. And also, there are many ahadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, Man hajja hadha al-bayt. Man hajja hadha al-bayt. Whoever performs pilgrimage to this house, meaning Kaaba, falam yarfuth. He did not, hayy Allah habib, barakallah fi akramakallah. And he did not say anything bad, something haram. And he did not commit any sinful act. فَلَمْ يَرْفُثْ وَالرَّفَثُ الْجِمَاعِ. He did not spend quality time with his or her spouse during the time of Hajj. So the brother will not spend quality time with his spouse during the time of Hajj when he's in Haram. فَلَا يَرْفُثْ لَمْ يَرْفُثْ وَلَمْ يَفْسُقْ. He didn't say anything bad statement, something that is forbidden. He will go back to his country after the Hajj, كَيَوْمِ وَلَدَتْهُ أُمُّهُ, like the day his mother gave birth to him, meaning there will not be a sin on him. This is part of the manafi', لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُم. And then also part of the manafi', part of the good, is manafi' dunyawiyya. You can do some trade, you can buy some things to go give it to friends and family back home, or to even make some business after Hajj. So لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُم وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ. And it is a golden opportunity while in Mecca, especially, of course, in other places, but here we're talking about the time of Hajj. وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ, and that they mention the name of Allah Azza wa Jal at appointed days, meaning the days of Hajj, especially. This is the time that one should devote his time for the worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ, the day of Eid and the other days of أيام التشريق and so forth. لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ عَلَى مَا رَزَقَهُم مِّن بَهِيمَةِ الْأَنْعَامِ. And we should be grateful to Allah Azza wa Jal, especially during the time of Hajj, for what Allah Azza wa Jal provided for us. And we have the sacrificial animals that we slaughter during the time of Hajj. فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا. Allah said, enjoy, eat from it. وَأَطْعِمُوا الْبَائِسَ الْفَقِيرِ. So it's permissible for you to eat from your udhiyah, from your slaughtering, but at the same token, remember, al-ba'is, al-faqir, poor people who are going through hard times, people who don't have any help, they don't have any means, they need some help, they need some meat, so you remember them. وَأَطْعِمُوا الْبَائِسَ الْفَقِيرِ ثُمَّ لِيَقْضُوا تَفَثَهُمْ وَلْيُوفُوا نُذُورَهُم. And then they should complete the obligations of the Hajj, the duties of Hajj, and also complete their vows. وَلْيَطَّوَّفُوا بِالْبَيْتِ الْعَتِيقَ. And they should make tawaf بِالْبَيْتِ الْعَتِيقَ, with the ancient house, that is the Kaaba. So I'm saying this to go back to the point. Should we go around, make tawaf at any other graves? The answer is no, it is shirk. It is haram to go around, making tawaf, at any grave. It doesn't mean that it is haram to visit graveyard and make dua for them and give them salam. Assalamu alaikum dar qawmin mu'minin. Inna inshaAllah bikum lahiqun. Many hadith, we mentioned this in the previous episode, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Kuntu nahaytukum an ziyarati al-quburi ala fazuruha fa innaha tudhakkirukum al-akhirah." I have forbidden you from visiting the graveyards. Ala fazuruha. Now permission is granted. You can visit the graveyards. Why? فَإِنَّهَا تُذَكِّرُكُمُ الْآخِرَةِ. It reminds you with the akhirah. You see people who are dead, people buried, young, old, men and women. And subhanallah, it's a time of reflection. You think about your own death and when you're going to be in the grave. So it's permissible to visit the dead and make dua for them. But to go around, we mentioned this in al-alam al-Islam, even in Muslim countries, there are some graves. People go there and they put money and they go and call upon them and asking them for help and assistance. As shirk. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man tafa bil bayt sab'a." This is the hadith. Whoever makes tawaf, goes round the Kaaba 7 times, وَصَلَّى رَكَعَتَيْنِ, and he or she performs 2 rak'ah, That is a sunnah. And the sunnah is to pray 2 rak'ah khalf al-maqam. Khalf al-maqam, ay maqam Ibrahim. Behind the maqam, the stand where it is established as a maqam Ibrahim. When you finish the tawaf 7 times, you go khalf al-maqam, facing the Kaaba, and then you pray 2 rak'ah. But it's very important to mention, sometimes people who have no better understanding, they fight each other. Even if you walk to zahma, a lot of people pushing each other. Why? They want to make 2 rak'ah khalf al-maqam. So if it's a lot of people, al-masjid kulluha maqam. Masjid is all, it's maqam. You can pray any part, in any place in the masjid. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. Allah mentioned that masajid are for Allah Azza wa Jalla, فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. You should not call anyone with Allah Azza wa Jalla. So we are not worshipping the maqam. We are not worshipping the maqam. You are just performing the sunnah to stand behind the maqam Ibrahim to pray. If it's a lot of crowd, go anyway. Give people space. Al-masjid is all maqam. Na'am. Man tafa bil bayti sab'a. Whoever makes tawaf, circumambulation 7 times around the Kaaba, وَصَلَّى رَكَعَتَيْنِ, and he or she performs 2 rak'ah, كَانَ كَعِتْقِ رَقَبَةٍ. The person will have reward as if he or she emancipated a slave. كَانَ كَعِتْقِ رَقَبَةٍ. The reward is as if you freed a slave. So it is a great reward. And this is authentic, collected by Ibn Majah. I'm going to stop here if we have some question, and then we move on. Any question from sisters or brothers regarding this part? Fadl Shaykh.
So it mentioned that the reward is the same as freeing a slave. Was this in regard to the entire Hajj or just taking the tawaf at the time?
Wallah jazakallah khair. Brothers asking the question that, so when we say that you have reward كَعَتْقِ رَقَبَةٍ, as if you emancipated a slave, is this reward pertaining to the tawaf and the 2 rak'ah, or this is for the whole entire Hajj? Well, the hadith here makes it explicitly clear. Man tafa bil bayti sabha. Whoever makes tawaf with the bayt, mean the Kaaba 7 times, and prayed 2 rak'ah sunnah, his or her reward is as if he or she freed a slave. So it's not the whole Hajj. The reward of Hajj is greater than that. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Hajj al-Mabrur laysa lahu jaza'un illa al-Jannah. Allahu Akbar. Al-Hajj al-Mabrur. And the meaning of the word al-Mabrur, accepted Hajj. You perform the Hajj following the regulations. You don't do anything which is forbidden. Your Hajj is good. You finish, you shave your hair for men, or taqsir, or those who will just to cut their hair. By the way, some brothers just cut a little bit here. No. So al-halq afdal, to shave the whole hair. If the brother would like to just cut some of the hair, then it has to be level all around, not just, oh, I love my hair, so just touch it just a little bit, cut, that's it. La 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 la. It has to be round. So al-muhim. So the reward of Hajj is Jannah. May Allah Azza wa Jalla give us the ability to go back and perform the Hajj, and may Allah accept our Hajj and grant us Jannah. But I'll tell you what, Sheikh, sometimes هب أن فلانا من الناس, let's say someone, he is a resident of Mecca, so it's not time to perform Hajj, and he always performs Umrah sometimes, so he just comes in. It is recommended to make tawaf at any given time you visit the haram. More reward for you. And subhanallah, just like you pray Tahiyatul Masjid in any other masjid, when you go to the haram, you are better off to do the tawaf sab'at ashwat, 7 times. You have more reward in that, and then you pray your 2 rak'ah. So that is what is meant here. But it's not the whole reward for Hajj. The reward of Hajj is greater than that now. What is that? Any question, ya akhwana? Sisters, any question? Shabab, any question? طيب. ما حكم السحر? What is the hukum, the ruling of sihr? Is magic. Some people around the world, one way or the other, they go to some people when they're going through hard times. They want to find out Why this happened? Why is this happening? Check this out for me. In my family, someone is, sending me, in Africa we say, juju, black magic, and all this, subhanAllah. And sometimes they just read your palm. They will look in your hand and look at it and tell you this is what happened, this is what will happen in your family. You have a black woman, subhanAllah, causing adversity and problem, and all this is haram. كَذَبَ الْمُنَجِّمُونَ وَلَوْ صَدَقُوا. Even if it happens by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, that they tell you something and it happens to be true, they are liars. So here, what is the hukum, the ruling of as-sihr, the magic? As-sihru min al-kufr. Indulging in sihr, in magic, is part of the kufr, part of disbelief. Allah stated in the Quran, وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. This is Surah Al-Baqarah. You can go back to Ayah 101 and Ayah 102. From Ayah 101, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولما جاءهم رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر ويتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون. These are ayat, Surah Al-Baqarah 101 to 103. So here Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned that وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا, that the shayateen, the devils and the jinn who deals with the sihr, kafaru, they disbelieve. يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ, teaching people the magic. And the ayah I recited, just to make it long story short, Allah mentioned وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ. The people, they follow what the shayateen, the devils and the jinn gave out to people during the lifetime of Sulaiman alayhi salam. The jinn were very active, very, very active, misguiding people, teaching people sihr. وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانَ. Sulaiman alayhi salam did not believe. وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا. But the devils and the shayateen, they disbelieve. يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ, teaching people magic. وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ بِبَابِلَ هَارُوتَ وَمَارُوتَ. This also mentioned the incident of the two angels, Harut and Marut, and what was descended upon them, Babil. Babil is Babylon. And just to make it very short, these two angels, Harut and Marut, were sent down in the form of human beings. So in other words, they're not angels. I just want to make that clear. It was not like angels walking down the street, and teaching people. No. Came down in the form of human being. وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ بِبَابِلَ هَارُوتَ وَمَارُوتَ وَمَا يُعَلِّمَانِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ. And they were teaching people. Also, some of the sihr. But they tell people, إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ فِتْنَةً فَلَا تَكْفُرْ. We are fitna, we are trial to you. Do not disbelieve. فلا تكفر. Do not disbelieve. People learn from them and from other devils and from other shayateen. So much so they learn ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه. They learn what to cause separation between husband and wife. They learn all that which is bad. But Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. They have no ability to harm any human being except by the leave of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So the bottom line is that when you go to magician, sahir, kahin, whatever name you call him, he has no any power to inflict harm upon any person except with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So back here to the ayah, وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا. It is haram, it's part of kufr to indulge in sihr, in magic. وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا. Allah Azza wa Jalla said the shayateen, the devils, and the shayateen mean the jinn who misled the people. كَفَرُوا, they disbelieved. يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ, teaching people the magic. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned clear, اجتنبوا السبع الموبقات, stay away and avoid 7 الموبقات أي المهلكات, sins that are destructive, sins that will destroy you. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned a shirk, committing shirk with Allah Azza wa Jal, was sihr. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned as sihr, magic, in all different forms. So magic is haram. And I'll tell you that sometimes someone is possessed, by sihr. Possessed by sihr. And some people, they do sihr to fight the sihr. It is haram. Yep. It is haram to use sihr, to fight the sihr when someone is possessed. What is permissible is that to do a ruqya shar'iyya. A ruqya shar'iyya min al-kitab. You read the Quran. And with the recitation of the Quran and so forth, Allah Azza wa Jalla decrees that you be able to cure the person through a ruqya shar'iyya. But we should be very, very mindful, because I know this. Some people, when a family member is possessed, the family will go anywhere, no matter what. One of my distant family member when I was in Ghana was possessed. So, and I was out of town, so they called me that they want to take him, the young brother, to someone. And I said, where are you taking him to? I want to speak with the person. I want to know what he's doing. So I was able to get in touch with him. So I gave him salam. You're Muslim? He said, I'm a Muslim. So what do you do? He said, I read some Quran. I said, okay. And then he started going, and I say some dua. When he started going deep, I found out he was using shirk. Yes. So don't let someone fool you. He might say, I read the Quran, tayyib. Don't stop there. Ask him, and then what? You have to listen to him. Do you say something? Do you mention some names of the angels, some names of the jinn, some names of the shayateen? If the person is using some other, other means, other things beside the Quran, which is haram, means it is haram. But it has to be a ruqya al-shar'iyya. It has to be from the Quran. Now, and the sunnah, of course, some ad'iyah that you can use. Is there any question about this part? Any question for the Akhi?
There's some people who, for example, for ruqya, they'll put du'as on paper, and then they'll make you drink it. Or maybe they'll put the du'as on a plate and they'll have you eat from it. Is this correct?
To eat from the plate, they will write in the plate, and then you eat from the plate. According to my humble knowledge, that is not something that is authentic. To write, let's say, some of the ayat of the Quran on a plate, and then put food or vegetable or something like that, the person eats the name of Allah and eats all. No, that is not the right methodology of the ruqya shar'iyya. A ruqya shar'iyya is that the shaykh should recite. It's the recitation of the Quran. It's to read upon the one who is possessed. Read some different verses, read different ayat. The person is hafiz, mashallah. If not, he should just read what he is capable of. But to write on a plate, or to write, if for example the sheikh recited and he blows in the, like Zamzam water, he blows in it. He's not doing anything because he recited the Quran. Do you understand? He recited the Quran, so he blows in the water, which is water of Zamzam. The person can drink some of the water. There is nothing wrong with that because he recited the Quran. Biniyat shifa, just like yourself, you're not feeling well and you recited the Fatiha and you blow in the water, for example. Biniyat shifa is part of ruqyah.
I mean, with pen and paper, like pen and paper, they put in a water bottle and drink it.
I don't have any knowledge about like writing a pen and the paper, fold it and put it. Do you understand? I have no any knowledge about that. Like I said, the correct ruqyah, al-shar'iyya, is that the sheikh will recite, will read and make some dua. بسم الله أرقيك من كل شيء يؤذيك من شر كل نفس أو عين حاسد الله يشفيك بسم الله أرقيك. So you have ad'iyah, من الكتاب والسنة, the ayat of the Quran. That is the proper ruqyah. Or the person, like I said, after recitation, he blows in the water, preferable the water of Zamzam, because ma'u Zamzam lima shuriba lah, and the person will make dua, and then the one who is possessed can drink. But to write in a paper and fold it and put it inside, and I have no any dalil on that. No. Yeah, so it's going to go to somewhere else. We're going to, soon we're going to talk about the tamim and all that. So this recitation, the ruqyah, that is fine. Now, any question or any comment? Sisters, brothers, Fadal Sheikh. There is hadith. The brother is asking a question that the people who will enter Jannah بغير حساب, without hisab, some of the people Allah Azza wa Jalla will grant them Jannah. Part of their characteristics or their qualities, the Prophet mentioned لا يتطيرون, and then the same thing, لا يسترقون, and so forth, وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. So the meaning of the hadith, to make in a nutshell, لا يسترقون, they do not ask for ruqyah. It's different between you making ruqyah and someone asking or you asking for ruqyah. So let me give example. I'm not feeling well and I recited the Quran. Any surah from the Quran with Ayatul Kursi, Surah Al-Fatiha and so forth. I recited with the niyyah. أولا تعبدا, is part of the ibadah, and then secondly I use it to be a means to get cured, inshallah, say ruqyah, and then I blow in my hand, wipe myself, and it's a means of ruqyah. That is different. Like in yastarqun, the people asking people to do ruqyah for them, even though it's not haram to ask for ruqyah, but when you call someone to come and do ruqyah for you, to some extent, according to that hadith, look at the end of the hadith, وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. The end of the hadith I mentioned, لا يسرقون, لا يتطيرون, and so forth. وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. They put their tawakkul, their trust in Allah Azza wa Jal. So some scholars explain that meaning of that hadith, when you call someone to come and do ruqyah for you, ruqyah sharia is not haram, but in part it's like you are trading your tawakkul to some extent. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So that's where this falls. But scholars have different explanation. But the hadith mentioned very clear, لا يسترقون. لا يسترقون. They do not ask people to do ruqyah for them. So it's different between you calling someone to make ruqyah for you and you making ruqyah for your own self. So the best thing to do is for you to recite the Fatiha and the surahs of the Quran and the authentic ahadith or the authentic ad'iyah من الرقية الشرعية to cure yourself. نعم. Jazakallah khair. Brother is asking, what about those who charge, meaning they take it to be a business, to do ruqyah and go so forth? There is nothing authentic about using this as a methodology to gain profit, to use it as business. So what is preferable is that if a sheikh would like to help an individual or family for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, because someone is sick, someone is possessed, someone, mashur, and then you make dua for him, fine. But to use it as a means, to live upon it, to do business with it, that will be something that is not good according to the sunnah. Now, having said that, if the sheikh, did the ruqyah and the family gave him something as a gift, there is nothing wrong with that. One of the sheikh called me from Ghana asking the same question. He said, Sheikh, is it permissible for me to, go around house to house, door to door, doing ruqyah and charging, because some people do that. No, seriously. It's like, if you want me to do ruqyah, you pay this. That is not right. That is not something that, do you understand? So do it as a means to help the people in need. And if they give you something as a gift, that is permissible. But to charge so much so that some people who cannot afford, then the Sheikh will not do ruqyah. So that is not the right way to go. Naam, Sheikh. Now, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is authentic that some of the companions traveled. Well, make long story short, and they arrived at a town. They were very hungry. So, and they expected some help, some banquet, some food from the resident. And the people turned them away without helping them out. They didn't give them any food. But then the leader of the town, he got stung, like by a scorpion or something like that. So they came to the companions. Do you have anyone who is raqi, someone who can cure? Our leader is, he's bitten by a scorpion. So one of the companions said, I can cure him, meaning by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the other guys were surprised. It's like, really? We didn't know you to be a raqi. So anyway, so he went and he recited Fatiha. That's the ruqyah we're talking about. He recited. And he just like rubbed on him and rubbed on him. And Allah Azza wa Jalla cured him. You have to make that clear. Allah Azza wa Jalla gave him shifa. So the leader and the community, they gave them as a wage, as a token gift. هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان. He helped their leader, and then they give them a lot of sheep. So the other folks said, well, we don't know about this. We have to find out. So they went to the Prophet ﷺ and they informed him what happened. So the Prophet ﷺ called him. He said, hey, what's up? What did you do? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I recited Fatiha. So I cured him, the ruqyah, with Fatiha. The Prophet ﷺ said, oh, ma yudrika annaha ruqyah. How did you know? Who taught you that Fatiha is a ruqyah, it's a cure? So the Prophet ﷺ approved. He said, it's okay, you can divide the sheep and make sure you have a share for me. Divide it amongst you and make sure that, don't forget me, have a share for me. So it is permissible. Like I said, if you are giving a gift for the ruqyah, but to put a price tag and to charge people before you do ruqyah, there is no dalil upon that. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. So ruqyah, it is a cure, it is a permission, it's a way to read the Quran, to help someone by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jalla to get healed and get killed. Yes. So can you recite to anyone? Yes, anyone. Anyone, yes. Because there is no dalil that leader was a Muslim. There is no any dalil that leader was a Muslim. So let's say hypothetically, you have someone who is a non-Muslim, he's sick, and he needs some cure, he needs some help. Can you recite for him? Yes, you can. Because there is no any dalil to prohibit you. And you never know, Allah Azza wa Jalla make that a means for him to take shahada. Now, I have a question from the sister. What is the correct way of doing self-ruqyah? Second, let's take that one first. What is the correct way of doing self-ruqyah? So the best way to do ruqyah for yourself, as I mentioned, first of all, you have to purify your intention for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And before then, make sure that you are in tahar and wudu. Best for you, of course. And then have, your good intention that you're doing ruqyah for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla. You're asking Allah Azza wa Jalla to cure you. Ta'abbudan, first of all, as a means of ibadah and also as a ruqyah. And then you recite. If you want to recite Surah Al-Fatiha, yes, you recite. Is there any specific number to recite the Fatiha? There is no any dalil that you recite specific number. It's up to you. If you recite one time, you recite more than that a few times. It's all Quran. If you want to recite Surah Al-Baqarah, the whole of the Surah Al-Baqarah, mashallah. So recite whatever you recite, and then as I mentioned, you blow. You blow in your hand. You blow in your hand and wipe your body, or where you have the illness. If it's your arm or your whole body, then if you have like water of Zamzam, you can blow in the water and drink it bi'idhnillah azza wa jalla with the niyyah of having the shifa. You can also make the ad'iyah. For example, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he has some pain, in authentic narration, he puts his hand. He says, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Allahumma rabban nas, adhib al-ba's, washfi anta shafi, la shifa'a illa shifa'uk, shifa'an la yughadiru saqama. You can repeat it 7 times. And there are also ad'iyah. If someone is possessed, as I mentioned, you say, بسم الله أرقيك من كل شيء يؤذيك من شر كل نفس أو عين حاسد الله يشفيك. See, it's Allah. الله يشفيك. بسم الله أرقيك. And then there are also many different ahadith that explain the ad'iyah. Sister is asking, do we have to recite loudly with voice or without sound? It's fine. Well, first of all, Allah Azza wa Jalla hears us. When we recite out loud or we recite in a low voice, Allah Azza wa Jalla hears. So that is not a problem. Just feel comfortable the way you want to recite. Now, you recite, low voice, loud voice. There is no any dalil to prohibit either way. So it's fine. I'm coming. Question number 3. Can I recite the ayah of ruqya without being possessed or knowing if someone did anything like sihr on me, just for protection, even before anyone have done magic, because we don't know? Okay. So here sister said that, can I read the ayat of the ruqya? For example, you recite ayat al-Qursi with the niyyah to have protection from Allah Azza wa Jalla and be saved and be cured from the evil, from the sihr and so forth, even not knowing whether you are, possessed or something. The answer is yes. Yes. You read it biniyat al-shifa, with the niyyah that Allah give you shifa. You read it and you wipe with the niyyah that Allah Azza wa Jalla protect you as a means of protection from Allah Azza wa Jalla, without knowing that you have, someone sent you sihr or, and so forth. Yes. So that in general, yes, it's permissible to do that. And that's why it's very important before you go to sleep, from the sunnah, you recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدْ وَالْمُعَوَّذَتَيْنِ قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدْ وَقُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ 3 times. In your hands you blow, and then you wipe all your body. You do that 3 times before you go to sleep. It is a protection from Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah will take care of you and protect you by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal from all harms. For example, there was a companion who traveled, and he spent night somewhere and he got bitten by a snake or a scorpion. Well, long story short, the Prophet ﷺ said, had he recited أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق, had he recited this dua, أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق, and there are many different narrations of this dua. There is long version, this is a short one. If he had recited this, seeking refuge with Allah Azza wa Jal, with the names of Allah, kalimat Allah at-tamat, the perfect names of Allah Azza wa Jal, from the evil that he has created, guess what? Nothing would have harmed him or her. So I'm saying all this in context to answer the sister that yes, you can recite with the niyyah that Allah save you and protect you, even not knowing that you are possessed with him. Last question from my sister here. Do we have to recite complete surah, Baqarah, every 3 days, or just few ayats? So this is a general question, that is it something that we should recite the whole entire Surah Al-Baqarah every 3 days? Do the best you can. If you can recite the whole surah every day, mashallah, it's good. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, in authentic narration, he said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man qara'a harfan min kitabillahi falahu hasana, wal hasanatu bi'ashri amthaliha. La aqulu alif lam mim harf, walakin alifun harf, wa lamun harf, wa mimun harf." And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever recited harfan, any letter, min kitabillah, from the book of Allah, falahu hasana, there will be hasana for him or for her. And the Prophet ﷺ said, I'm not saying that when you say Alif Lam Mim is one harf. He said, it's not. Walakin, but Alif is harf, Lam is harf, Mim is harf. So I'm answering your question, sister. Do the best you can. If you can recite the Surah Al-Baqarah every day, or every other day, every 3 days, every week, do the best you can. If you cannot recite the whole surah, can you read something? اقرأ ما تيسر. Because the house where the name of Allah Azza wa Jalla is mentioned is going to be a good place, a pure place. It helps to keep away the evil of jinn and all the evil, of the evil things. Wallahu a'lam. Fadl Shaykh.
I think the last question was referencing how some people say, for example, recite Surah Fatiha 7 times or 13 times, and then some couples say recite this every 3 days until you're healed. So it was in reference to the frequency.
Oh, Jazakallah khair. The brother is following up. He said that, some said that you recite Al-Fatiha, for example, 3 days, 3 times, and every 3 days, or the frequency. اقرأ ما تيسر. Whatever you are capable of, like I said, if you can recite.
Is there a dalil for the frequency?
I don't remember specific hadith that explains the frequency of the recitation, for example, every day or every 3 days, or specific amount. I don't have any dalil of head. Maybe I can look into that. Yeah. So اقرأ ما تيسر. Whatever is easy, so that it should not be a burden. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. When you recite Quran 1 time, it's Quran. Fatiha 1 time is great. If you recite it every day, every other day, mashallah, it's good that ليكن لسانك رطوا من ذكر الله. Keep your tongue wet with the remembrance of Allah. So min dhikrullah is general. Dhikrullah, Quran is part of the dhikr, and then also tasbih, tahmeed, tahleel, takbir is part of the dhikr and so forth. Now, I will take your question and now go there. Faddal. MashaAllah. The brother is saying that someone is possessed and the sheikh is recited, he didn't have any zamzam water. Can he use the regular water? Like I said, even without the water, the sheikh can still recite for the person. The person can recite for himself and wipe his body, or the sheikh recite for him, recite upon him different ayat. So zamzam is also another extra mile. So if there is no zamzam water, it's not a big deal that, oh, you see what? There is no zamzam water, so I cannot do ruqyah. No, the sheikh can do. He can recite even without the zamzam water. Now, for the sheikh. Jazakallah khair. Brother is asking, can we play a tape? Can we play a tape? Let's say that someone is possessed. Okay? I'm going to make 2 explanations. First, someone is possessed. Can we use the tape to play upon him? That is not the best way. No. To have an actual recitation. Do you understand? Have an actual recitation. Either myself, let's say that, okay, I seek cure from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Can I just play the Quran and that will just spontaneously, no. Can I play 3 quls, in the Surah Al-Ikhlas, and then the 2 quls from the tape, and then, or the tape is just recited? No. It doesn't work like that. I have to recite. So ruqyah, it requires actual pragmatic approach in terms of the recitation. That is one point. You understand? Recite, or the sheikh recite, and so forth. And there is no remote control. Someone is possessed in Africa, and I'm here reciting on him. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no. You need someone to be present, someone to be with the possessed person, and so forth. Now, second, can I play Quran in the house? Absolutely. That is absolutely. So if you cannot recite frequently, yes, you have the DVD, you have the CD, you have a tape. Yes, play the Quran in the house. It brings barakah in the house. Instead of us playing music and all that, it brings shayateen in the house. You know what I'm saying? Now. I like that.
Just a follow-up. This question is similar to somebody says Isha was prayed, and it was videotaped, and then I played the videotape and prayed with it.
Brother said that, you heard the question, right? Yes, I think the question. That Isha, was prayed in the masjid, and then someone is playing, it's like playing over, okay, or repeating. Or let's give a different explanation, like someone just has a dish, okay, and is checking the haram in Mecca. There is khutbah, al-haram al-Makki wal al-Madani, or somewhere. And mashallah, I would listen to the khutbah, and I'm going to follow them in the Jumu'ah Salah. No, you cannot do that. No, you cannot. So whether it's Isha, anywhere, or following Imam in the haram to, do the Jumu'ah, that will not be accepted at all. Let me just follow up on that a little bit. The only time that we can expand this is that, see, this is a masjid, okay? You call it musalla. I know differences between musalla and the masjid. Anyway, so, and this is one big room to pray. During the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I want you to listen to me very carefully because it's very important. During the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the men and the women, they pray in the same prayer hall. In other words, there was not a barrier. There was not hajiz, a barrier between the men and the women. The women pray in the back, behind the men. Now, fast forward. If we have, this place is not big enough, it's not spacious enough. If we have the women in the back, it's just too tight. So we need to make sure that is enough space for men. So we have other space for women, mashallah, which is okay. Now, so it's not one hall. You have some masajid, or some musalla, you have like rooms. This room, another room, another room. It's all connected with maybe either, some doors, entrance, and so forth. Is this permissible? Can all other people who are not behind the imam, is it permissible for them to follow the imam? The answer is yes, for necessity. Because we cannot make it all one big hall, for whatever reason. So it's permissible, and also because there is outlet. There are doors that connects these rooms together. But you have all this room, and there is no any connection. You have one house and two houses, and then the masjid bought another property, third house down the road. And then we were able to connect, some wiring. So when we do salah here, the people can hear and follow us. There is nothing correct about it. They cannot follow us in the salah. If they do, the salah will not be accepted. Because there is a barrier. Do you understand? There is a gap. There is no connection with the masjid, except maybe with the wireless or whatever means that we have. So, but like I said, if because of the darura, because of necessity, but the halls are connected, there are doors and so forth, yes, that becomes darura. But if we can connect all together, that is the best way to go. Fadal. Oh, have you asked your question already? Fadal.
Sometimes the Rafi will repeat certain words of an ayah because he says they're more powerful. For example, he'll say, فَخْرَجَ إِنَّكَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ فَخْرَجَ, and he just keeps repeating the same word.
Oh, he's mentioned that, for example, when the reciter who's doing ruqyah, whether the sheikh is reciting, or for example, I'm just reciting, for my own, there are some portion, فَخْرُجْ, specific words, and the person will repeat many times. Is there any dalil upon that? Well, in general, the Prophet ﷺ himself, when he recited, sometimes he repeated. Sometimes he repeats some ayat a few times. You might think that he forgets. So it is permissible. Because the Prophet ﷺ himself, when he recited the Quran, he repeated some verses a few times. Not only that, even the Prophet ﷺ in authentic narration, he recited the whole surah, and then the second rak'ah, he repeated the same surah again. Some companions say, well, maybe he forgot. No. He is teaching us that it's permissible to do that. You understand? Even in nafl, not fard, it is permissible because it's authentic that you repeat, even if it's the same ayah, you repeat it all night long. After Fatiha, you repeat this ayah, you repeat it again and again and again. Scholars explain that in Sunnah it's permissible, dun al-fard. Not fard like you pray Taraweeh. 1 hour you repeating the same ayah. There is no dalil upon that. But in Sunnah, because it is not fard, it's permissible to do that. So basically, yes, to answer the question, if the Shaykh repeated few times some ayat, there is nothing wrong with that. Wallahu a'lam. Question, ya shabab? Sisters, question? طيب. Let's continue. هل نصدق العراف والكاهن في علم الغيب? Oh, I have another question here, sorry. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. Would offering ruqya to someone you think is afflicted be different to the one asking for ruqya? Okay. Do you understand the question? Now, would offering ruqya to someone you think, you assume, you perceive, according to your intellect, you see that the person is either is affected with sihr or, is possessed, and you do ruqya for him. Is it the same thing like the person asking for ruqya? No. No. The difference is that someone is asking for ruqya. That's the difference. So when someone asks for ruqya is different than when you preempt the person. Let's say my son, I see that my son, just looking at him, I have some symptoms. You know what I'm saying, right? Some symptoms that this boy, he doesn't look right. So I know from what Allah Azza wa Jalla, taught us in the Kitab was Sunnah, I see some symptoms that this guy is not acting right. So I recited for him and some dua, with the need of ruqya. Is it the same like he is calling someone to come and do ruqya for him? No, it's not the same. So it's two different things, sister. She said, Barakallahu feek, jazakallahu khair. Wa feeki barakallahu wa jazakallahu khair, ya sister. Another question. Can you listen to Surah Al-Baqarah if you cannot recite? You cannot recite it instead. Or can you read the translation instead? Okay. So first, I said this and I repeat. Listening to the recitation, mashallah, is good. You have reward for listening. But it's not the same like you reciting. Do you understand? Listening to the Quran, recitation is good and you have reward for that. But it's not the same like you reciting. So I'm saying this to say, I give example. No, I'm going to bed. Oh, it's time to go to bed. So I have a tape, so I just played it. So the tape recited, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. I said the tape recited. And then I what? No. It's not correct. So let's say that, I think that I have some symptoms of sihr. And then I brought the tape close to me. The tape recited the whole Surah Al-Baqarah. No, it's not the same. So it's not the same. The best thing to do is to recite. And the sister also asked that, what about the translation? إخواننا, ترجمة القرآن لا يسمى قرآن. The translation of the Quran is not Quran. Translation of the meaning of the Quran is not Quran. What do I mean? Someone will take Fatiha. We know Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. All praises to Allah, most gracious, most merciful. All the way in translation, it's not Quran. And if someone used that to do the salah, it will not be accepted. Because he is not reciting the Quran. He is reciting the meaning of the Quran in either Somali language or English language or Hispanic language and so forth. So it's not Quran. Now, someone who is a new Muslim, his ruling is different. He will take baby step to learn. Pray with someone until he or she learns. Even the person says Subhanallah. If that's the only thing the person can say for now, gradually. But to answer the question here, no. Playing the tape is not the same like reciting. And also reading the translation is not the same. She said, Jazakallah khair, Amin wa jazaki. She has another question. How can we distinguish whether one's shaykh's ruqya is authentic? I have seen some videos on YouTube, and I would like to know if I am not actually looking at the wrong information. Jazakallah khair. Amin wa jazaki. Very good question. So, and that's why it is of paramount importance that we know our deen. Because with all due respect, there are some people, they have good intention. They learn the deen, but the wrong way. At one time, I was in the United States, I gave a khutbah somewhere, I was a guest. But long story short, so I gave a khutbah on Tawheed, on the Aqid and so forth. After the khutbah, a guy from, I think, West Indies, like, you know, anyway. He came and he gave me salam, gave me a big old hug. Big hug. He said, Imam, I'm a new convert. Listen to this. He said, I'm a new convert. I took Shahada, but I didn't know that the one who gave me the Shahada was someone who practiced bid'ah. So all what I have learned from him was a bid'ah in the deen. And he didn't know. So mashallah, with the good intention, Allah Azza wa Jalla hada, Allah guided him to take Shahada. But guess what? All what he was learning, all this bid'ah stuff. So, you know, alhamdulillah, we were able to connect together, and I said, Allah Azza wa Jalla accepted you in Islam. Your intention was good, but inshallah you have to, you know, learn from the right source, the right aqidah, because it's all about the aqidah. You don't want to mess with your deen. So I'm saying this to say that the sister was asking very, very good questions. Some brothers, Allah al-Azim, they spent time learning. There was a brother in Baltimore, Maryland, who he loves the deen so much so he sent his children to one of the countries, I'm not going to mention, to go and learn the deen, so that they come back as du'a, you know, callers to Islam. Well, long story short, the children, they weren't learning bid'ah. Every night, or at least once a week, the sheikh will take them to graveyards in the night. They're doing all kind of shirk. Wallahi al-azim, serious. So something happened, and the sheikh came and said, hey, Abu Eyman, I have a question for you, man. I said, what? He said, I spoke with my son. He told me last night they went to grave in the night. I'm like, okay. They went to bury someone in the night, because it's permissible to bury even during the night, if you can. Because the sunnah is that to hurry up with the deceased. When he or she passes away, the sunnah is to expedite, not to delay. And the Prophet ﷺ said, if the person is good, فَخَيْرٌ تُقَدِّمُونَهُ إِلَيْهِ. If the person is good, you are taking him and expediting him to that which is good. If the person is bad, فَشَرٌ تَضَعُونَهُ عَنْ آتِقِكُمْ. If the person is bad, at least you take the bad stuff off your shoulder, meaning get rid of him or her. So what I'm saying is that, so they were doing bid'ah and so forth. So some people caught up in, with the good intention, learning bad things. Imam Malik, rahimahullah, and Imam Ibn Sirin, both of them mentioned that إِنَّ هَذَا الْعِلْمَ دِينٌ. إِنَّ هَذَا الْعِلْمَ شُو? دِينٌ. فَانظُرُوا عَمَّنْ تَأْخُذُونَ. That this ilm is deen, it's religion. So you should be mindful. You should know from whom you take your deen. So it's not just we just want to learn, you bring anyone, كل من حب ودب, anyone come and teach, anyone come and do a lecture. No. You have to make sure you know who you're dealing with, who you're learning from. Because someone can have any title, any name, Imam, Sheikh, Mufti, whatever. But if the source of his ilm has to do with shirk, you are messed up. So the sister is right. You have to ask. It is not enough to just go online, with all due respect, checking on Sheikh Google. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I have ruqya from this, just playing the ruqya from... No, you have to ask. That is why part of the right methodology of seeking ilm is sitting with the alim, the sheikh. That's the right process. Now we're missing that. We're missing out. Back in the days, you sit with the sheikh. تتتلمذ على يديه. You learn from the character of the sheikh. Allah is a whole package. Well, sometimes we just don't get it. Sometimes we think the ilm is just what you read. No, it's more than that. It's more than what you think you're reading. But how you practice it, how you implement what this ilm means, and so forth. So, not to elaborate, I already did. That sister, you have to get in touch. We have sheikh in the community. We have Sheikh Uthman. You have to connect with the sheikh. You know him. You know the source of his ilm. You know his, al-kitab wa sunnah. So that you make sure that you safeguard your deen. I cannot make specific comment on any video on the YouTube. There are some, mashallah, that are good. they're doing good ruqya shar'iyya, and they put it online for people to learn and benefit from it. But there are others that I cannot make a specific comment. Wallahu al-musta'an. طيب. هل نصدق العراف والكاهن في علم الغيب? Should we trust and believe al-arraf? When you hear this al-arraf, al-kahin, they are synonyms. They are synonyms. Some people who claim to have the knowledge, so they are, soothsayers. They are like magicians. They are liars. They claim في علم الغيب to have the knowledge of the unseen. Should we trust them? Should we believe them? The Shaykh said, لا نصدقهما. We do not believe them. So anyone who claims the knowledge of al-ghaib, the knowledge of unseen, he knows something that we don't see. He sees something beyond, and no, we don't believe them and we don't listen to them. Allah said, قُلْ لَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ الْغَيْبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. The continuation of the ayah, وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ أَيَّانَ يُبْعَثُونَ. Allah stated that, قُلْ, say, and this قُلْ is a command to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Say, لَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ الْغَيْبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. None has the knowledge, yani none in the heavens and the earth has the knowledge of unseen, illallah, except Allah. So this makes it very clear. So then say, the Shaykh, he gets the knowledge from the angels. He gets the knowledge from the jinn. No. لا يعلم من في السماوات والأرض الغيب إلا الله. None amongst the inhabitants of the heavens, none in the heavens or in the earth has the knowledge of the unseen. Have no knowledge of the ghaib. None. And this يفيد العموم. No one إلا الله, except Allah Azza wa Jalla. وما يشعرون أيان يبعثون. And they, meaning those inhabitants in the heavens and earth, they perceive not, meaning they don't even know. أيان يبعثون, when they shall be resurrected. Meaning when they die, when they shall be resurrected, they don't know. So if you go to someone, he claims or she claims that they have the knowledge of al-ghaib, but the person doesn't know what will happen to him tomorrow. The person doesn't know when he or she dies, when he or she will be resurrected. So the person is a liar. That's what it means. وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ أَيَّانَ يُبْعَثُونَ. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, مَنْ أَتَى عَرَّافًا. Anyone who goes to Arraf. We mentioned that Al-Arraf, Al-Kahin, Al-Sahil, they're all the same. So man ata arrafan, anyone who goes to arraf, anyone who is a soothsayer or a magician, someone who claims to have the knowledge of ghaib, أو كاهنا, it's a synonym, same meaning. فصدقه بما يقول, and you believe him or her. That's tasdiq. You believe what he or she said. فقد كفر بما أنزل على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. The person who believes the kahin or the arraf or the sahir and all, the person disbelieves. Meaning you become kafir with that which Allah Azza wa Jalla sent down upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Meaning you disbelieve in the Quran and the Sunnah. So it is haram, period. If you go to any kahin, any arraf, and you believe him or you believe her, then you become a kafir. You have to make tawbah. And you have to renew your iman. You have to rejuvenate your iman, because you go out of the fold of Islam. That is serious. But let's say, هب أن زيدا من الناس. Let's say hypothetically, Wallah al-Azim, brothers, you'd be surprised. There are some people, they have good niyyah, good brothers and sisters. They do their salat, they do good deeds in general. But wallahi, they're miskeen. He doesn't even know that it's haram to go to kahin. There are people like that. They don't know. Because somebody tells them that, oh, he's a sheikh. They call them in Ghana, malam. Now, malam literally means like muallim, meaning sheikh, the same thing, malam. But what is so funny, and these malams, Muslims and non-Muslims go to them. Because it's like, if you need any help, it's like he has the magic. You have business, he can help you, make you get more money. Give you some khayt, something, write something, tied up, and put this in your drawer, put this in your car, put this in your pocket. and he takes money from you. Well, if the sheikh has money to get, where to get money, where is he taking your money? He should make a way to get money and be rich. So they liars. من أتى عرافا أو كاهنا فصدقه بما يقول فقد كفر بما أنزل على محمد. That's serious. So you don't go to them. Any question here before we continue? Sisters, brothers, any question here? Okay, you can interject. You can come in anytime if you have questions. هل يعلم الغيب أحد? Is there anyone who has the ilm, the knowledge of al-ghayb? When we say al-ghayb, it's from the root word of ghayn, ya and ba. غاب يغيب. Ghayn, ya and ba. So كل ما غاب عنك. Because sometimes we have what we call al-ghayb al-mutlaq. Al-ghayb al-mutlaq. So sometimes there is a ghayb, duna ghayb. What do I mean? Now we sit right here in the masjid, right? Something is happening outside, roadside. To us, it is ghayb. We cannot see it. But is it real ghayb? The answer is no. Because someone outside there, he see what is going on. So it's not kind of real ghayb. But because we are not there. Something is happening in Vancouver right now. And someone calls, yo, you know what's happening? Big traffic, man. So we are here, we don't know. There's accident at Burnaby. We don't know. You check on the news. Oh. So at this time, what you don't know is ghayb to you. Now, but al-ghayb al-mutlaq is the ghayb that no one has knowledge about it except Allah Azza wa Jalla. It's general. No one has knowledge. Give example. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, مفاتيح الغيب what? خمس لا يعلمهن إلا الله. مفاتيح الغيب, the keys of غيب, خمس, 5, لا يعلمهن إلا الله. No one knows about them except Allah Azza wa Jalla. And he explains what Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in the Quran. وعنده مفاتيح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو. Allah has the مفاتيح الغيب, the keys of the غيب. And also Allah mentioned إن الله عنده علم الساعة وينزل الغيث ويعلم ما في الأرحام وما تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عليم إيه خبير. Allah mentioned in this ayah to explain that إن الله عنده علم الساعة. Allah has the knowledge. He knows when as-sa'a, the hour will be. Mean the qiyamah. No one knows. So I'm not talking about someone living here, someone living in Saudi, someone living in Iraq, someone living in Bosnia. No. No one can tell you. Period. لا ملك مقرب ولا نبي مرسل. Not even an angel. Not even a messenger. No one can tell you when the hour will be. You know this better. In the hadith of Jibreel, the long hadith, when Jibreel alayhi salam came in the form of human being, long story short, he asked questions about Islam and Eyman and Ihsan. In the end, خبرني عن الساعة, tell me about the hour. And the Prophet said, ما المسؤول عنها بأعلم من السائل. Al-Mas'ul is the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As-Sa'il, Jibreel alayhi salam. So we both on equal footing. I don't have any better knowledge than you. You know what I'm saying? ما المسؤول عنها بأعلم من السائل. And Jibreel said, أخبرني عن أماراتها أي علاماتها. Give me some of the clues, some of the signs. He said, أن تلد الأمة ربتها وأن ترى الحفاة العراة العالة رعاء الشاء يتطاولون في البنيان. So long story short, shahid is that the Prophet said he doesn't know the day, the time when the hour will be. It's going to be on Friday, and it's authentic from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Which Friday? This coming Friday? Allahu a'lam. Next year Friday? Allahu a'lam. So al-ilmu 'inda Allah. So when we say al-ghayb al-mutlaq, no one have the knowledge. هل يعلم الغيب أحد? Is there anyone who has the knowledge of the unseen? لا يعلم الغيب أحد. No one. And that's why when you see someone, he say, you know, I can tell you what will happen. Right away know that he's shaitan. He's a liar. He just want to take advantage of you. لا يعلم الغيب أحد. إلا من أطلعه الله من الرسل. This إلا is استثناء. It's exception. So now there is exception to the rule. إلا except من أطلعه الله من الرسل. Messengers. Those whom Allah Azza wa Jalla reveal to them some of the knowledge of the ghaib. Some of the knowledge of the ghaib that Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed it to some of the messengers. Allah said, عالم الغيب فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا إلا من ارتضى من رسول فإنه يسلك من بين يديه ومن خلفه رصدا ليعلم أن قد أبلغوا رسالات ربهم وأحاط بما لديهم وأحصى كل شيء عددا. Allah said, عالم الغيب. Allah Azza wa Jalla is the alim, the all-knower of the al-ghaib, unseen. فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا. Allah Azza wa Jalla does not, reveal, does not give the knowledge of unseen to anyone. على غيبه أحدا إلا من ارتضى من رسول. Except those Allah Azza wa Jalla irtada, I mean Allah Azza wa Jalla chose them. Allah Azza wa Jalla chose them. Allah selected them, many messengers. Even them, because Allah Azza wa Jalla gave them some of the knowledge of the ghaib, listen to this. This is Surah Al-Jinn. To the end of the surah. فَإِنَّهُ يَسْلُكُ مِنْ بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ رَصَدًا. Allah Azza wa Jalla appointed angels marching before them and behind them. You know why? To protect them. To keep them safe and sound. Because they have knowledge that not everyone has. فَإِنَّهُ يَسْلُكُ مِنْ بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ رَصَدًا. So Allah Azza wa Jalla appoints angels to protect them, in front of them and behind them. لِيَعْلَمَ أَنْ قَدْ أَبْلَغُوا رِسَالَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla also is providing them with like a means of protection in order to assure that they will convey the message of their Lord. That is the essence. لِيَعْلَمَ أَنْ قَدْ أَبْلَغُوا رِسَالَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ. In order for them to convey, because you don't say that for Allah to know. It's like Allah didn't know. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He knows. But Allah Azza wa Jalla is providing them with security so that they will convey the message of their Lord. وَأَحَاطَ بِمَا لَدَيْهِمْ. And Allah Azza wa Jalla encompasses all that with them. What they have, what is around them, Allah Azza wa Jalla أَحَاطَ بِمَا لَدَيْهِمْ. Surrounds them, encompasses all that with them. وَأَحْصَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ عَدَدًا. And Allah Azza wa Jalla knows the count of every single living creature. And everything, Allah knows the number and the count of everything in the world. طيب. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, لا يعلم الغيب إلا الله. No one knows the ghaib, the unseen, except Allah Azza wa Jalla, collected by At-Tabarani. Is there any question here? We're going to go to the end of the page, maybe a little bit in the... Any question here, sisters, brothers? Any تعقيب, comment, follow up? طيب. هل نلبس الخيط والحلقة للشفاء? Is it okay? Is it permissible for us to wear, what is al-khayt? Something that some ulama, I call them ulama, shuyukh, whatever you call them, they write something for you to put in your hand or hang around your neck and all this, They call it khayt, sorry? Yes, they call it ta'weed, they call it talisman, different names. They had different names. I'm sorry? Tamima and all that. So all this because they used some ropes to tie it after they write on the paper and so forth. Is it okay for us to use all this? And the question is here, shifa, for cure. Like, I'm not feeling well, so when I wear this talisman or this tamima, it's going to be a means of cure for me and so forth. Sheikh said, La nalbisuhuma. Said no. Don't wear anything like that with the intention or the purpose of getting cured, or healed, from illness and so forth. Allah mentioned in Surah Al-An'am, ayah 17, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ. And if Allah Azza wa Jalla touches you, meaning inflict upon you, بِضُرٍ, with So it's nakira, bidurrin, any harm, any illness, any calamity, any trouble, bidur. So it can be any kind, any type, bidurrin. فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُ. No one can cure you. No one can cure you. إِلَّا هُ, except Allah Azza wa Jalla. وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ بِخَيْرٍ. Continuation of the ayah. If Allah Azza wa Jalla touches you with good, meaning Allah Azza wa Jalla brings good to you, gives good to you, give good health to you, or any khair in general, فَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٍ. Allah Azza wa Jalla is able to do all things. So in a nutshell, whether good or bad comes to you or happens to you, it's all by the permission of Allah. It's all by the leave of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So back to the question, should we wear any tamima, any talisman, anything for protection, for cure? The answer is no. It is haram to do that. It's haram to do that. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, when he saw a man, I mentioned this previously, he saw someone, he had this tamima, this talisman, the Prophet ﷺ, communicated with him. Yo, what's up? What's this with you? He said, Ya Rasulullah, this is for protection. This is for protection. The Prophet ﷺ said, Ama innaha la taziduka illa wahna. You know what? This will not add anything to you. It will not give you anything, meaning any good, illa wahna, except weakness. Except weakness. Okay, I have a question. How do you understand? Or what do you understand by weakness here? Well, it will not add anything to you except weakness. Yani shunu. Weakness in your faith, that's good. Any other thing?
Maybe non-weak.
Yes, weakness in your iman, in your faith. What else? Hello, Shabab, sisters, weakness. Well, what comes to mind? It will not add anything to you except weakness. Weakness in your iman, in your trust in Allah Azza wa Jalla. Yes, weakness. Like what? MashaAllah. It will give you more stress. Ham wa gham. More stress, more anxiety. Let me break it down. When someone has this in his hand, and he or she believes that this is the protection. Okay, now you're traveling in the middle of the road. Oh no, I forgot my protection. Do you understand? I forgot my protection. I didn't have it. So it will add ham and gham. You'll be more stressed out, more anxiety. Even when you drive, you panic because I don't have my protection. So your Allah is not with you. Because that is your Allah. That protects you. So it does not add anything to illa wahana. You become weak because your faith is entrusted in that thing. You feel that saves you, that protects you. So إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. Period. That's very, very important to reinforce this in our children. One would ask, okay, Sheikh, what about if this tamima, I just took ayat from the Quran. I wrote ayat from the Quran. No name of the angel, no name of the prophet, no name of the shaitan, no name of the jinn. It's all ayat of the Quran. Well, make long story short, scholars have differences of opinion. Some say that if it's Quran, strictly Quran, it's okay. But there is no dalil. There is no dalil min al-kitab aw sunnah that it is okay. لو كان خيرا لسبقنا إليه السلف. If that was the right methodology, guess what? As-salaf as-salih, the righteous predecessors, would have done that. If that was the right way to go. They memorized the Quran from cover to cover. They would have written for their children to hang it on their neck. But they didn't do that. So it tells you that نَتَّبِعْ وَلَا نَبْتَدِعْ. The best way for us is to follow, not to innovate. That is the right way. نَتَّبِعْ, we follow. وَلَا نَبْتَدِعْ, we do not reinvent the wheel. We don't have to make stuff to just make sure that or think that we go in the right for the Shaykh.
بارك الله فيك.
وفيكم بارك الله.
جزاك الله خير.
وجزاك.
حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم من علق تميمة فلا أتم الله له.
ما شاء الله.
لأنه يعني يعلق التميمة ويعلق قلبه بها.
Exactly. Exactly.
لذلك هو يعني في جميع وقته تزيده وهنا على وهن، وعلق قلبه بهذه الكلمة.
جزاك الله خير.
مهما كانت على آيات، سواء كانت آيات أو قرآن أو طلامس،
نعم،
يتبعون الشعوذة. فلذلك الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم اختصر على الأمة وقال: من علق تميمة فلا أتم الله له.
He's making a comment, just like we all said. When you have all this, you hang it, you put on your hand, all that, you put your faith in it. The hadith, one of the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man allaqa tamima," whoever hangs. The allaqa here, it can be in your hand, it can be in your neck, and so forth. It can be at your doorstep in your house. You hang it at the entrance. You think it's the protection and so forth. Allah will not fulfill your wish. Allah will not fulfill your wish. Allah will not fulfill your desire. That's what you become vulnerable. You become weak because you put all your faith in this tamima, thinking that, so you become more weak and more vulnerable. Now, Fath Allah alayki Shaykh. So, نعم وإن يمسسك بخير فهو على كل شيء قدير. So you put your trust in Allah Azza wa Jal. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, أما إنها لا تزيدك إلا وهنا. It will not add anything to you. You not get anything back or out of it except weakness and vulnerability. Imbidha. Imbidha means get rid of it. Imbidha means throw it away. Imbidha means cut it out. Imbidha means do away with it. Imbidha means eschew from it. So don't do anything with it. Seriously. Imbidha. Throw it away. انبذها عنك فإنك لو مت ما أفلحت أبدا. If you die and you have this on you and believing in it and putting your faith in it, you will never be successful. See? Because it's about aqidah. It's about your faith. You put your faith in this, this is the one that will save you and protect you. If you die, putting your faith in it and hanging this on your neck and hand and around your waist and all, ma aflahta abada. You will never be successful. And it's authentic, collected by Al-Hakim. هل تعلق الخرزة والودعة ونحوها. All this basically, they are still synonyms of the same names. We call them whatever, but they all, connotations and synonyms of the same word, tamima and so forth. لا نعلقها من العين. It is not acceptable. It is not permissible to have this, kharaza and wada'a, tamima and all that, for protection from evil eye. That is al-ain. Evil eye, sihr and all that. Use it for protection. No, you cannot do that. Allah we mentioned the ayah, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُ. If Allah Azza wa Jalla touches you or inflicts upon you, a harm or a test, illness or anything, no one can remove it. No one can cure you except Allah Azza wa Jalla. Again, continuation of the ayah, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ بِخَيْرٍ فَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٍ. If Allah Azza wa Jalla touches you or provided you with khair, any kind, any type of khair, good, Allah Azza wa Jalla is ala kulli shay'in qadir, is able to do all this. Let's take the page 16, just the top. وَقَوْلُهُ. Also in the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned, another version of the hadith that the Shaykh mentioned, مَنْ عَلَّقَ تَمِيمَةً فَقَدْ أَشْرَكَ. Whoever hangs tamima. And here you look down the same paragraph between parentheses, بين القوسين التميمة الخرزة أو الودع تعلق من العين. So these are the same, synonyms of the same name. So من علق تميمة, anyone who, hangs the tamima, either the hand or the neck or the waist or, the arm, anywhere, or you just put it, at the entrance of your house or in your car. Anywhere you just hang it, putting your faith in it. من علق تميمة فقد أشرك. He or she has committed shirk. And this is sahih. It's very important. But at the same token, let me end with this. Maybe I'll take one question. Is that, subhanallah, that there are some people, with all due respect, they just laymen. They do their salah, but they don't have knowledge. They don't have ilm. They just come to the masjid and make the salah and so forth. And then they still have this tamim and so forth because they believe that the one who gave them has knowledge. They thought he's, alim, you call him sheikh, you call him mullah, you call him malam or whatever. They didn't know that it's shirk. So are these people out of Islam? The answer is no. These people don't know. But what they should do is to ask. That's the whole thing. That's the problem. So this deen, you don't take it on face value. You just don't take it lightly. And that's why I want you to be strong and be confident enough. When I say something, don't hesitate. Abu Eyman, so where can we have dalil for this? It means that you know your deen. Do we have any dalil? Min al-kitab wa sunnah. Is there any dalil? Check my sheikh out, Sheikh Uthman. Is there any dalil on this? Min al-kitab wa sunnah. Hold your leaders accountable. We have some leaders in different sects. I'll tell you what. The followers follow them blindly. No questions asked. So much so, we have some people in Ghana, people of Bid'ah, when you ask the Imam question, the followers will just jump on you. How dare you? You are very disrespectful of the Sheikh. Check what he said. Be quiet. No. You ask question. The companions, they asked the Prophet ﷺ, so they learned their deen. لا يكون أحدكم إمعة يقول أنا مع الناس إن أحسن الناس أحسنت. None of you should be an imma'a. Imma'a means a blind follower. يعني إيه؟ يقول أنا مع الناس. I just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? إن أحسن الناس أحسن. When people are good, I'm good. Just go. No. But you should be able to strengthen your foothold. And people do good, you do good. But people do bad, you avert. You go away from them. So the deen is to ask questions. And mashallah, I have brothers. There's Abu Eyman. You talk about this hadith. Shaykh al-Albani said this about this hadith. Yani hadith is da'if, لكن معناه صحيح. I mention it. You're right. So there is no anyone feeling big and being arrogant. أنا شيخ, أنا عالم. شو؟ لا. لكل عالم هفوة ولكل جواد كبوة. لكل عالم هفوة. Every alim, every scholar, don't worry whoever he has. Hafwa means he said, oh, I misspoke, I made a mistake. Yes. وَلِكُلِّ جَوَادٍ كَبْوَةٍ. Jawad is a horse, can also miss a step and fall down. And that's why Imam Malik, I will end with this, Imam Dar al-Hijrah, he made this profound statement. He said, what? كُلٌّ يُؤْخَذُ مِنْ قَوْلِهِ وَيُرَدُّ إِلَّا صَاحِبَ هَذَا الْقَبْرِ. كل والكل يفيد العموم. كل يؤخذ من قوله ويرد. He said anyone, any person, you can take from him, you learn from him, ويرد, and you can disagree with him, you can throw away what he said. Any person, you take from him or you reject. You say, you know what, with all due respect, I don't want it, I don't take it. إلا صاحب هذا القبر, except the person in this grave. And he pointed to the grave of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there is no one who is infallible. That's why you have the mashayikh, the ulama. They make statement and they revoke, they take it back. Why? Because tabayyana lahu al-haqq. When he has the haqq, the truth, you know what, I said this, but subhanallah, al-kamalu lillah, I made a mistake, and he will come back and correct it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك واتوب اليك واخر دعوانا ان الحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خير.